I think my experience is that just to call somebody Sia or Siama, it's you know we give them respect and we don't have to guess their age. Going to Sia Siama.
Yeah, just call everyone.
Call young lady like Ama or Ama like that, she will be angry, right? Like Nima Lei will be better. Right?
What do you think?
For me, maybe I look young. I was usually called Nima. Like Nima,
okay,
so and
and
then whenever
But she wants to be called Amai. So how about the dealing with the clients here? You know, you deal with a lot of different clients. I think for you, both of you, deal with a lot of international clients as well as local clients as well, perhaps. So what are some of the different experiences so far?
I think for PwC, a lot of our clients, like you said, are international. We do work with big local companies, but I think a lot of the people that we deal with have very good command in English. Yeah, usually like the head of departments and stuff like that. So in that sense, I don't really feel that like language is a problem usually. Yeah, and yeah, I think I find that they're very helpful. It's like you feel like you two are working together on a project to achieve the outcome.
Also, you're kind of like all the international expats put together in one group, so you know you don't really mind talking about talking over each other or against each other because you're all trying to solve the same problem.
Correct.
For the client.
Yeah.
you don't really feel the gap.
True. So for Denver Legal, we also actually have clients from different countries, and some of them are the overseas Chinese here in Myanmar, and then they speak Chinese, but they are already very localized, and we can still feel a little bit gap between the international standard and the Myanmar local practice. So it's not that the international standard is good or Myanmar local practice is not that good. It's not like that. It's like just like the customary law or the customary that long time has been formed here like that. So what we do is that we trying to understood the local practice and then we respect the local practice because we are doing business in Myanmar actually, and then sometimes we persuade over Chinese client or other international clients actually to adapt into that practice. Our idea is just to do it in a local way. So means that the most difficult part is that you need to work with the local partner. If the local partner is saying that I don't feel comfortable with the international standard, then it's a deal breaker actually. Then they run away like that. So what we do is that we try our best to accommodate our practice into a local way of doing business. Yes.
Is it more difficult to convince local clients or international clients?
It's all about bargaining power. It's like that if the local client has bargaining power, then it will insist in using the local practice. So if the foreign client actually have the more bargaining power, it actually will be adapted into the international standard. But usually, because the local partners, they own the land, so actually that they have more bargaining power. So.
Have there also been instances where everything is set is signed on paper, but then people try to change it later on, or have there been breaches of contracts, for example?
Yes. It happens, and in every jurisdiction there's certain of breach of contract. Generally, it's fine here. People actually, when they are doing business with the international clients or foreign investors, that they usually keep their promise actually, and maybe there is some change according to the situation in Myanmar, because that sometimes the law changing, and sometimes that the practice are changing as well. Sometimes they have some dispute, but as a lawyer, we always just ask them to sit together and to talk, and to find a mediation or a solution about that. Yes. So because it's also part of the local culture, and then people tend not to go to the court, right? It's like sometimes they drink tea together and talk, and then they reach to our like final solution and then close this case. Yeah.
Do you also talk it over and drink over things?
I mean, I'm still quite junior in my firm. Like, yeah, so I'm not very aware. But yeah, I think a lot of things happen over drinks normally.
So because that this different culture in China, if you do have a dispute, then we sit down, have meal, drink wine, right? 白酒, drink wine, and then everyone get drunk. Okay, so forget all the unpleasant matters, and then the deal done. It's like that. Yes.
Yeah. I was recently transiting in China, Guangzhou, and then I saw very big billboards of 白酒.
Yeah. It's like here the people drink whiskey, right? It's quite common. And then in China, every province, even every city has its own brand of 白酒. It's white wine. It's quite strong, and then
it's 55% alcohol.
Yeah. But it's the way of doing business in China. You must drink. You drink first, and you make friends later, and then finally you reach to a deal. Right, like that. It's their culture.
And the more who can drink, are more respected. That's what I heard.
Because we think that if you are a good man, and then you can drink a lot, and then if you can still control yourself after you get drunk, you're a reliable man. Okay, it's self-control because there's a lot of alcohol like that, and then you can still control yourself means you're an amazing and outstanding man, right? Like that. Yes.
Okay. I think it's very much ingrained in the culture as well. Right? When we see all these Chinese historic movies, and they're always drinking. Or,
drinking. It's kind of a culture, and just it's a test of your personality, of your fortune, or something like that. Yes.
What if they have alcohol poisoning?
Yeah, it's usually happens. Because they drink too much, right? And then it's not good because then here that nowadays that this kind of concept change a little bit. They don't force you to drink, but you can show your hospitality by drinking, or you can prove something by drinking. It's all by yourself. They don't force you to drink nowadays. So there's less alcoholic poisoning these days. Yes, but it still happens.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you also have that kind of pressure in Myanmar? You know, like people taking you to bars or drinks after work, or?
I
don't think so.
I don't think so,
okay.
but I think it's more like on Fridays when you go out with your colleagues and stuff, and then you go to like a bar or like. So our old office used to be at Myanmar Plaza. Yeah, so every Friday was like Harry's, you know. It's just instinctive. Like no one had to think, you know. Just go down to Harry's. Yeah, so I think it's more like a bonding place. Yeah, and I think all these Friday like dinners and stuff, it really does bond the company together. Be it whether you're like a local or like some of us who are expats from all different countries. Yeah, exactly. TGIF.
TGIF.
Yeah. So that's why I love Myanmar more, because that they usually it's drinking is just for relaxing purpose. It's not closely related to work. So people here actually do not force you to drink. So that it's very light burden for Chinese people actually. Yes.
I think that it's because of the older generations influences from the culture as well. Because in Myanmar culture, we do believe that alcohol is not a good thing, you know. So if you over drink or overuse, then it's kind of not think as a good, you know, perception.
True.
I think it changed even in the very recent years, right? In the past, even like 3 or 4 years, 5 years, and if a female is drinking in the bar, then she's seen in a very bad light. But now more and more women are going.
It reminds me of this. There was this DICA report that was launched specifically for foreigners who are in Myanmar, to say like, you know, these are like the do's and don'ts. And one of it was like, do not ask your colleagues to go for like drinks. Like don't. And I was like, oh really? But like we ask our colleagues every Friday. Like, are we doing something wrong?
For socializing.
Something like that.
So usually that the girls in our office, they actually goes back to home very early, goes back home very early, and then they
They
can
have
also
curfew.
they
going
have
on there.
curfew, yes, like that. So we also respect that. So usually we put the firm trade or reunion like for lunch, like Friday noon that we have a trade forms trade, and then we go for lunch together. Usually we do not put it in the night. Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's gradually changing right now.
It's gradually
The
changing.
millennials are
Yeah,
more
yeah,
like
yeah,
more.
Yeah,
They
there's
are going
a,
out at night as well now.
Yeah, there's a lot of like hip bars that are opening. Yeah,
And
yeah.
EDM festival.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Have you been to any other places besides bars and karaoke?
You mean Yangon, right?
In Yangon, yeah.
So I went to Yangon Yeching Club. Yeching Club. It's the sailing club.
so
Yeah, it's quite nice. They offer our two-week actually on weekends, right? The like junior sailing clinic. It's quite nice, but you will get tanned because there's a lot of sunburn burns at that time.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's quite interesting.
It's an
and
open space.
they give you a certificate.
It's
Like,
really?
yeah, you can learn how to sail on the
lake,
river in the lake
Right.
in the lake. Yes,
lake,
yes,
yeah.
quite
Okay.
interesting.
one. It's
There's a boating club just beside the Yeching Club,
Oh,
and then you
okay,
can also
okay.
go to play the kayak there.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Oh, I didn't know there were so many things.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. There's a lot.
Yeah, I've been to the ice skating ring at the Sportainment complex,
New
I think.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the bowling there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just opened.
It's just
maybe
opened.
like a few months ago. Yeah. So I don't even ice skate in Singapore, although there's an ice skating ring in Singapore, ironically. Yeah, so I tried it here. Yeah, not bad. Yeah,
Okay.
something
I
different.
think surprisingly there are also a lot of parks in our country as well, right? I mean, in Myanmar, especially in Yangon, I was surprised the size of parks in Yangon are relatively big compared to other big cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
you know, Kandoji Park, or for instance, yeah, we can run in there if you want. Yeah, it's quite safe as well.
And also that there's a new skydiving place.
Oh, really?
Right, yeah. You didn't know that? It's near 9 Mile Ocean.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
The
it's
new Harry's
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah,
okay.
But I
This is
haven't
right
tried
next
it
to
before.
Yeah,
Yes.
the bowling center.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
the ice skating one.
Yeah, see, so many new things are happening in Myanmar, in
Yeah.
Yangon all the time. Yeah.
True.
People actually start coming earlier because they want to beat the morning jam, right?
I
So
see,
they
that's
come in
the
before
reason,
8:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so